Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US stocks, and starting with the NASDAQ here. We are in quite a complicated correction here, as you can see, but I believe that it'll be over soon. So let's just go into the intraday from the daily chart here so we can sort of drill in here a little bit. Be it right or wrong, we've got this as a triangle pattern here as wave 3. And I mean, the takeaway here is that this move here is sideways and it's got a lot of overlapping wave structures, so it's corrective. So it's a bullish corrective pattern that will see a move to the upside, and as an A and a B and a C and a D and an A, B, C here to finish off for the E wave. It may or may not settle on the trend line here. I'm not quite sure, but I've done it a little bit lower here just to put out a bit of a warning signal that it could come down. The support is in minor group 2 here, 65, 72 and 8 here. So that's that. This is also roughly the same count is that we're looking at Bitcoin as well, with wave 3 over here, an A and a B and a C and a D and an E wave over here. It's either that or we put the B wave over where the D wave is here and look for the same move to the downside. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth, fifth. So basically this has got to finish off here too. So we could view it in a couple of different ways. We could put this just over here and have that completed at this point. The takeaway is that we're in the final stages of tech stocks, some of these tech stocks doing their thing. Now, the tech stocks that we're looking at are a bit of a mixed bag at the moment. So in that Apple has been, been hit pretty hard, and I've been looking at it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here, and an A and a B and finishing off down here. Now we've had a really nice strong 5-wave structure here, so that means that we're going to get after 5 waves you get a correction, and then you get another 5 here. Now I don't know if it's going to be, because when I look at this makes a nice A wave here and a B wave, and then 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, and then a fourth wave here. We don't want to see it overlapping this one over here, by the by, but it looks like it will, so it's probably not here. So the alternative here is that this wave 3, 4 and 5 here, it's probably likely, or there's a half a silly chance basically, that this wave 2 that I'm looking at here will settle in over here, and then we'll have to put this wave 4 in over here for this and settle it. Now we do have a long trade in here, so what we're going to do next is we're going to look for support on top of the 180, and we normally look for a pattern like this here, so the first high above the level. That's what we'll be looking for, and then we can drop it down to here and here and see if we get triggered in, because we need to move past this possible wave 4 here. So we need that first high above the level, as I just mentioned. So we'll be looking to add above that level, above that first high above the level there. Could be something like this, you know what I mean? So let's just go from the daily to the 1000 tick here and check on that here. So yeah, so there's a couple of ways to view this, but the thing is we do have a nice impulse wave to the upside here. So if this is going to be a wave 4 over here, we need to make sure that we get the first high and then we push up from that point, and then we can add to that position. Hi there, we've got a great opportunity coming up on April the 14th to the 21st. It's going to be a free week for Trading Lounge. So you'll get access to 6 analysts that cover most markets, Forex, ASX stocks, trade recommendations for most markets, a great social chat, great education, currencies, commodities, swing trading, and so on, sectors, US sectors and US stocks. So it's a great little opportunity to check out Trading Lounge, absolutely no cost whatsoever. Just put in your name and email, and I will respond with you for your logins for April the 14th to 21st, and that will be at tradinglounge.com. So I look forward to seeing you on the inside at that point. And then once we do that, once this 180 becomes the tested support, then we can bring the stop up to that point there as well. But the good news is we have this impulse wave, and it's just going to spend some time around this area here. So there's nothing to do. We just keep the stop out of the way, let it do its thing. It'll get to a point where we'll understand it, and then we can move in again if need be. The Amazon one here, I've got a few positions here. We've got wave 3, 4 here. We're looking to build up. Normally would be sort of pulled up to the 200, so that's what I'm thinking. I can still, I've recounted this differently here. I'm just trying to see things differently in my mind. I know we've got wave 3 and 4 here and 1 and 2 here, but this is where it gets a little bit tricky here. We could look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 to here and build up from that point. It can be counted in different ways, and we've got overlapping wave structures here as well for this, so I can just see that it can be counted differently. So yeah, I mean, I could put this wave 3 here and put wave 1 up here and look for wave 2 here, and we can see this, the indicators, stochastics here, just sort of pulling back down, getting ready to move off. So there's different ways of viewing it, but it doesn't really matter. We can bring this up a bit closer here now, and when we're talking about putting a stop at a number here, we never put a stop at a whole number. You don't do that. We wait for the first low below the level, and then we can plonk it under there. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing at this point, and we'll see how far we got, but we've got these protected, and the trend, which all we need to do is stay with the trend at the moment. I can just see that we could look at this in 2 or 3 different ways, so it's kind of a bit useless. So I'm better off saying that I'm unsure about what it is, but we just stay with it. Okay, over to meta platforms here, and I mean, one of the good things here really is that the 500 here was their resistance, and now it's becoming the support. So all we need to do is just stay with this as well. We've got a nice little impulse wave to the upside here. I looked at this as 1 and 2 here, and I'll still just keep this as 1 here with a little ABC back for wave 2 at this particular point. There may be a case where we'll need to put wave 2 over here and look at this as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave down here. Once again, the stop here needs to be the first low below the level here to put that. I've got it at 196 at the moment, but don't worry about that. You'll still need that first low below the level. That's what we'll look for at that point. Okay, but in the meantime, I'll just leave it as it is, and if we take the top out here, then we want to be going, we want to be building that position. So we just take the next logical step and approach it in the most practical way possible. Okay, so for NVIDIA here, very much like I think the 13th of March was the NASDAQ top there, so we're a little bit out on that, but not a huge deal. But we do have this nice A and ABC for the B wave, and down for to finish wave 4 off here. And like Apple, we've got this nice 5-wave move to the upside, and last time we spoke we were looking for the first high above the level, so we can do that. And yeah, so also too, we can see the indicator coming, doing its thing down here, so it's in the right space basically. So we should see now, it looks like to me an ABC pattern here, a little bit wonky in here, but let's just draw this out take the bigger picture here, in that this is the pocket, so it could move down to this point. Okay, so just be aware about that. We're aware of that. Now, if we see some other sort of rally here and then down here and that sort of thing, well, then we'll be able to use that, and we also could be building from here as well. But in the other side of this is that it could just start to move up from here. So if it does move up from here, you can use that top here, because we've got a nice 5 waves here, so you can take that top out. But if you wanted to refine it, you could use the next high over here as well for that, but I will just leave that there. So yeah, there's a few ways that this could play out here, but the takeaway here is that we do have an impulse wave off the low. So that means that we'll get another 5 waves over here, so we need to build with that, and the likelihood of this being finished here is finished. And our target is 1000, but it can move higher than that, but we'll basically be trying to look for 5 waves here, 1, 2, and the 3 and the 4 and the 5, something like that, and then we'll have a larger wave 4, so 3, 4 and 5 up here for that. So that's all bopping along. And Netflix here, we're looking for to take top out here, and Yeah, a bit of, yeah, I mean, I could look at this in a couple of different ways here, but I'll just see. We'll just wait till it gets support or takes this top out here to take this, and we won't be holding it that long here either. So we'll see if we get triggered on this one. And Google here, so we've got this ABC here and we're looking up here. I think that we can go up further. We've got this as wave 1 here and wave 2. I'm not that happy with this wave 1 and 2, and you know, I think that it's possible that I could get caught out, and we're not in wave 2 yet. But we do have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so we understood that. We understood taking this top out here. We could go along there because that would force this to be corrective, and we could just be long anyway. And then we had the 5 waves there, so because we got 5 waves, we'd have a correction, and some folks might be long at that point. We talked about that. And this looks like another little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, so I don't see any. This is sort of corrective here, you know. It'll come back and settle in here a little bit, but I don't see any problem with this sort of, you know, taking the next stop to the upside here. And also too, if we look at 50, 60, 70 here, this 60 here, this will all be group 2 here. So group 2, as you know, would be 58, 56, 50 here, 56, 56, 50, close enough there, close enough, and the 72 in here, which would be the 720. So that's all of group 2 here. So it was the resistance, and now it's becoming checking for support. So we should see this move on, because this structure from here to here is just not finished. So this is probably 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So we'll just stay with that for a while, and then we come over to Microsoft, and it does look a little bit impulsive down here for this. I was looking at this as possible 1 and 2 and up for 1, but this is not really giving me five waves here either. So I think that we could still be in wave 4. That's a bit of an issue, and so we may need to look at this because it's getting quite big now. You know, that's the problem with this. So we'll probably need to. I'll just push this over to here. So you probably have to, let's just move these here for a moment. Unfortunately, I mean, it's just not showing me what I need to see here. You know, that's the problem. So, I mean, obviously, I haven't got it right. So that means that, that means that it could be something like this. Not sure how to configure that. I can see that as a B and a C here. I could do that. Just not sure where to plonk that here or here on that. It's a bit weird. I suppose it's got to go there, but it's a WXY maybe. And a B wave's okay at that point. So we may end up down here, unfortunately. I'm just getting the worst, looking at the worst possible scenario. Some bounce and 3, 4 and 5 here. Because it's working in 3s, we might just end up having this one. Anyway, just pointing out that not all is well in paradise here at the moment for this, unfortunately. So the thing is that you're going to have to work out if you want to hold through this. I mean, the good news is that this is corrective, so we should be able to do something, like we should be able to, you know, not get stopped out here. I think that's the important point here. Maybe that should go there, but that's quite high. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, all of this is in corrective pattern. So we might just see 3 waves here. I'm not sure, but I think we should look after the position. That's what I'm thinking. I'll leave it up to you. I didn't want to turn it into a loss, so you can either leave it here, like we're going to, or you can bring it down and just keep it out of the way for a moment, and then we'll look to, once this is finished, we can look to build up here. So we should end up somewhere up here, somewhere with it, you know. So it'd be nice to kind of keep it, but we just got to go through a little bit of pain first, unfortunately, more pain. But you know, I think we're big and ugly enough to handle that situation, so I'll leave that. We'll take that away, and you can do what you need to do, but I think we need to just look after that situation here for a bit. Okay, so that's Microsoft, and then we come over to Tesla, and yeah, so I think we're still heading down here for this, and I think he's got some sort of, did he have his announcement? Yeah, he did have his announcement, didn't he? We didn't really see much come from that, but yeah, so I think we still need to come down here for this. So I don't see a long trade yet. I know that that's impulsive here, but I'm thinking this could be an A and a B and a C wave here for this, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into here, and then an ABC here. I mean, like I said before, if we get support on top of the 180, then I will be looking at we'll look at some long trades, building in and try to build on top of the 200, and we can call that in as a low. But the way that finished off as a low from this high here down to here as a low, coming just nipping the bottom out here, it's not really giving me what I wanted to do. You know, I could look at it as 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know. Nah, it just doesn't work. So we'll just continue to stay with it. I can't see anything that we need to do here at this particular point. So let's see if it I mean, it's being supported within group 265, 72 and 80, which is part of this number here. So it's being supported. It's only leaves this number here when this number here, the 165, becomes the retested resistance, and it has prodded below here as a low here, but never came down here. Did this one here, but never came down here. Did this one here, but never came down. So it's sitting in there. It's supportive there. So we just need to continue to wait on this. So it's kind of interesting. The tech stocks really haven't been knocked around from the earnings from the banks, and you probably wouldn't expect that. They've got their own life and all the rest of it. But there will be more earnings coming out, of course, but the banks will sort of finish on Tuesday, and we'll get a list of what the other earnings are. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.